How's it going, you amazingly creative imaginators? It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get that imagination all cranked up, but get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Juan Gimenez. I love his work. I think he is just wonderful. You have to check it out right over here. Let's take a look at a couple of pieces of his work. Look at it. I mean, the color choices, the anatomy, the layout, the composition, it's all solid. And he has such a wonderful sense of imagination. I really feel like the worlds that he creates and the kind of blends a mix of Jean Girard and Geiger to have a little bit more of the creepy Mobius vibe. But I just love his stuff. I mean, check out this comic panel right there. That is pretty intense. Great stuff. I love this like I said, it's kind of a Geiger alien mixed with a dragon. It's so creative. Really love it. This is really cool. I love his, like I said, I feel like with Juan Gimenez, what I love the most out of everything, I think his draftsmanship is top notch. But I really love the sense of imagination and wonder that he brings to his work. This whole getting a cord to tap into the brain cortex to drive this machine that's in there is really interesting. Again, stunning composition and layout, beautiful painterly work. There's a video on YouTube that had him doing a quick sketch in somebody's like the front of someone's book or something, and he does watercolor and everything, and it's just one of those times where I have a hard time sitting still sometimes, but it was definitely one of those times where I was really enraptured and just pausing to my day and all of my thought, because I wanted to watch and absorb everything, every brush stroke, every stroke of the pencil that he does, and all hopefully if I remember I'll throw a link in here, otherwise just Google Juan Gimenez art or something. I'm sure you guys will find it. I love this sword. It's a really interesting sword. So I really urge you guys to go off and check out some of his stuff. I think he's top notch. I don't think he gets nearly enough credit for how amazing his work is. But I do want to share a quote with you guys, and it's kind of a simplistic quote. I wasn't able to find too much because I believe he's Argentinian, and there's not too much that's been translated. But part of an interview that he said, actually, I like to draw everything. And I think that piece spoke to me, because maybe it will for you guys as well, is because I tend to find myself, I get a little bit pigeonholed with the things that I particularly like to draw or animate, or the styles that I like to, and I don't tend to break out as much and branch out from those things as much as I should. And I think it's a great attitude to have, to enjoy every aspect of whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. So let's say you're a musician and you really like playing ska music. I don't know where that came from. Maybe branch out and try, playing some R&B, or writing an R&B song, or writing a piece of classical music. And maybe it's not necessarily the thing you want to really be famous for or be well known, but maybe it'll allow you to think differently about the medium that you're using, because you're having to try to access different angles or perspectives on it. And I thought that was a really interesting, it's deep in its simplicity, I think. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation for the day. This is the Tusk rig. It's a free rig that's you can grab over at the Steam community. I'll throw a link in the description below. I believe it's a Dota 2 rig. Looks like it should be pretty fun. I haven't used a Dota rig in quite a while, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this guy. I was going to do more of a IK walk, but unfortunately, maybe it can. Okay, cool. I was thinking it was all in FK, but it looks like I'll be able to do that. So that should be helpful. Let's see if it is. And if we move this, is that going to do it? No, it should keep it. Okay, cool. That'll help. I was thinking we were all going to be stuck in FK now. I'm just going to worry about the other hand. But anyways, if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, just hang out with me while I animate. A little bit of talking through the process. But the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own unique content in whatever medium that it is that you're passionate about each and every day, to take another step in your journey, to not get frustrated, to not give up, to get inspired. Go look at whatever inspires you. Go do whatever you have to do to be able to sit in front of that clarinet and play, if that's what you're passionate about, or sit in front of that canvas and paint something, or don't let all the other stuff in the world get in the way. Anyways, I'm very rambly today, so let's go ahead and just get into some animation. So I was thinking what my original thought was, but for some reason I was thinking these were stuck in FK, but they do look like they're in IK, is to do like almost an animalistic walk, but with one hand being up and one hand being down, so it would be kind of like a the word I'm looking for, a tri-cornered walk. That's not the way. What do you call those? A tripod kind of a walk, I guess, would be kind of what I'm thinking here. So let's see if we can figure out that one. I don't know that I've ever really done a full-on tripod walk, so that'll be interesting to try. Dad joke. Okay, and let's push this. Piece of cloth. I was thinking it wouldn't work, but that's okay. Well, not this. This is a toe, right? So we don't really have a bend here. So there would be a toe break or a foot roll or whatever, but it doesn't appear like there is. And let's go ahead and rotate this to favor that, and we'll rotate the chest to favor the front, the arm here. I'm just trying to set up some posing so I'll know where to go with this thing. Center it more towards the middle here. Do we have an elbow or anything? Because I don't really want that elbow to go inward. No. Maybe I want to bend the chest a little bit more here. And we'll go ahead and push the neck up here. Just trying to come up with a more interesting storytelling pose here that we can come up with. Yeah, that seems a little better. How will we do that? Okay, well, I'm not exactly sure the approach I'm going to go with, but I think we have something that we can start with. So let's just go ahead and tilt that a little bit more. So there's no rotate inward. How weird. Okay. I'll just leave it like that for right now. So let's make sure we just have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. And let's get started. I think we have an okay silhouette to work with. It's not perfect, but for this sake of trying to get this done within an hour, I can't really push my poses too much. So let's go ahead and set our first key. Now let's figure out how we're going to do this. So this one will go, we want it to be kind of slow. So this one, maybe we'll have these go on 12s and that one will go on 6s, so it's on something a little bit different. Let's see if that'll work. So this one will move back here. A little bit further back. Like I said, this is kind of different territory. I don't know that I have a great system for doing like a tri-pedal system of a walk, but let's see. Alright, now let's go ahead and pull this. So we want it to go inward here, right? And then at 18 would be forward there. Okay, yeah, let's try that. See if that'll work. Go back. I feel like this is probably too far. So let's bring that in a little bit more. Maybe we could go a little bit further out to start it. Alright, let's try that. We'll see if it'll work. I'm sure we can get it to work, but we'll see if this current system that we have is going to work. So we'll lift that up here. Drop it down. Actually, before we go too far, let's make sure we just lock in all of our main keys. So we're just going to go back and hit S on our keyboard to make sure we lock in all the attributes there. We'll lift this one up. Okay, let's look at this foot. So that's going to go back. And then I've got to make sure I lock in all the attributes there too. And we'll go and raise it up here. And raise it up there. So let's see. Okay, and we'll go here and make sure we lock in all of these. And then here we're going to raise it up. Here we're going to raise it up. I almost want it to be a little bit faster. I think the legs could be on 10 and let's keep it with that for right now. And let's look at the hips. Let's go up here, down there, up here, down there, up here. I always love the aesthetics of these, the Dodo rigs. They're really cool. Okay, obviously a little too much, so let's look at our graph editor here, and let's minimize those. See how we're doing. What should we do with this arm? Yeah, we'll just do P here. And let's see how we're doing here. Now one thing, it feels like the wrist is kind of a little broken there, so let's go ahead and pull it in a little bit more. Still a long way to go with this one, but I think we're starting to get somewhere. And let's look, this is the shoulder. It's going to be the shoulder. Okay. We'll go down there. Up here. Down there. Up here. Down there. Up here. Down there. Back again. Feels a little too over the top, so let's scale that back to about half of what we have right now. Let's see that. Let's look at the hip here, and I'll rotate a little bit and wide to favor the front planted step. This one, that one, and this one. And we're not going to really balance it out too much. We are always going to kind of favor towards this side, but I still want to have a little bit of twist and a little bit of lean in there. Let's look at the rotate Z here. Go ahead and do a little bit of tilt so it's over the planted foot. It's probably way over the top, but we can always come back to it. And again, we're still going to favor kind of our initial pose that we had there, so I'm not going to go and make sure that it's balanced from left to right over the 0 there. Do a little bit of swing too. A little bit of back. A little bit of forward. A little bit back. A little bit forward. Let's see. Tone that down a little bit more. Just a little bit of movement there. Let's see. I do think the translate wise might be a little too much here. Let's tone them down. Getting somewhere. I don't know where we're getting yet, but we're getting somewhere. So let's look at finish up the hips there. I'm getting distracted with how we're doing that arm. Let's go and push it a little bit over that planted foot, and over this one, and over that one, and over this one, and back again. And look at our translate X's. Let's go and balance those out a little bit more. Let's see how we're looking. I think I want to do about 50% less on this arm. As you can tell, this is definitely where my eye is focusing right now. It's just too much movement there. Maybe it's the... Let's clench up these fingers a little bit more. Maybe that'll help us. And we'll bring these ones in a little bit more as well. Bring that over. Bring this one. I just feel like the rotation's kind of funky here. I mean, I like that it's down more there, but it feels broken because of how this arm is set up. So what can we do here? Do some rotate there, maybe that'll help us. Let's see. Let's go to a starting frame here so we're a little bit better. It doesn't really change anything though. We can do a little bit of drag. Go something like that. Okay, let's see. I almost want it to be lower than though. Drop it down further. Is there any way to get that elbow out a little bit more? You know what? I think there is an elbow controller. Yay. Okay. I don't know why I wasn't looking at that before. We'll do that then. Then I can rotate that back down a little bit more. That would probably look a little better. Yeah, that looks a little better. What are we doing here? Is that an elbow thing or is that a shoulder thing that's giving us that problem? It's got to be up and down here on this one. Maybe it's the translate Z that's doing it. Yeah, let's try and finish the chest and stuff first before I get too much into that. Okay. It's bugging me though. Okay, so let's try and figure out why at 15 we're going so different here. What if I just universally pick it up? It's better, but I like it lower. Let's go lower on the shoulder then. Maybe that'll... It's probably too low. Go somewhere like that. exaggerated. Let's scale back a little bit more. Let's do some twist in the chest first before I get too far lost into the nuances of that shoulder just yet. So I think at here we're going to want to rotate this way, right? And then out there, in here, out there, and then back again. Like I said, we're doing a little bit different approach here with the way that we're moving stuff around. So let's see how I like it. It's okay. I think we could scale back a bit more. Okay, let's look at the rotate Z here. Go ahead and go a little bit that way. 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 And back again. And we'll tone that down as well. Let's look at this thing. Let's try and see if we can get that to go in the middle here. Not so much. And rotate that so it's up there. Bring this one so it's down. It's funny, I've been using those external world rigs for so long that now I'm getting used to having my rotate X and Y switched. Let's see now. Still feel like there's just too much here for some reason. God, I think it's the translate C. Maybe I'll reverse those and see how I like it. If I just get rid of the rotate or the translate Z for right now. It's probably just because of the tilt of the body then, so let's account for that. Still like it being double time though. So how can we do that? No, that's not working. Because we can't let it go down so low there, so we'll have to just universally raise it up higher. too extreme, so let's try that now. And I still feel like that should be exaggerated a little bit more. Maybe not as much on those ones. Let's see if we're getting some variation in between that last frame and the first frame as well. Minimize that a little more. Exaggerate the ups a little bit more. Okay, down, up, too far down. Up, down, up, down, up. And push it up a little more universally. And we'll tone them down a little towards the top. And then do we have, are we doing the double bounce there? Okay, it's at least workable now. Now let's look at the neck here. I can find the neck controller hidden in there somewhere. Okay, try to keep it focused forward a little bit more. There. And then we can tilt it a little bit more forward. And switch between those. Let's see how it feels. Get the rotate Y here. Maybe we'll tone it down or amp it up a little bit more there. Yeah, it feels alright. Yeah, let's look at this shoulder here. Let's have it go down a little bit there. Actually, no, I want it to be up here, and down there, up here, and back, I think. elbow. Let's drop that elbow down a little bit more here. Maybe I like it being out a little bit more. Let's get that shoulder. Pop it up a little bit more, over a little bit. Yeah, that fits better. Let's see. Okay, two biggest steps. So I'm going to tone those down. Too high. Go a little lower there. Let's see. Still wish we could somehow get that pushed over. Let's see. Is there a way? Get it somewhere in the middle more. That's fine. Let's rotate it. Drag it a little bit more. Drag that out. So let's see. There. Feels more like it's in the middle. Alright, let's look at the feet. Go ahead and drag it back a little bit here. Lift it up a little bit there. Drag it back a little there. Lift it up a little there. Pound it down. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this one. And let's drag it back here. Lift it up there. And drag it back there. Lift it up here. Plop it down. Okay, starting to get to be something. And let's look at the toes. Set it there. Set it at 12. Go ahead and rotate it down a little bit there. Lift it up. And one frame, slap it down so they're kind of heavier. And key it here. Lift it, or drag it down a little bit. Lift it up. And I'm trying to merge it on that seam there. Okay, and let's look at the other foot. Let's look at the toe there. Set that one. Go ahead and drag it back here. Lift it up there. And slap it down. And key it here. Drag it back there. Lift it up. And slap it down. Let's see how it looks. I feel like it's a little too much on one side, so let's balance them out a little bit more. Got a good balance between the two sides there, and let's see how they're looking. Now there is a little bit of intersection in the geometry there, but I'm not too worried about it. I kind of like the way that it's kicking that hand forward, but I'll try to get a little bit in the wrist there if I can. So like it here. Go ahead and rotate it out a little there. loosen up that wrist a little bit more here as well. Let's make sure we duplicate that last frame, the first frame, so we get a good seam in there. And bring those back. Let's see. Every other one feels a little too much rotate there. Maybe we'll tone that down a little bit more, about 10% less. But we'll need to keep these ones higher there so we can still get a little bit of that. Let's take it back. I think we were closer the first time. Okay, let's look here at this guy. Let's sway him a little bit that way. There. And that way. There. That way. There. That way. There. And back again. Needs to be toned down, or it needs to be delayed to probably about 9. And probably take what we have at about 6. Make that our extreme. We have about 18 and make that our extreme. So I'm cutting the extremes back by about 3 frames. Let's see now. Feels like it's too slow now. So let's put it back to where it was before. It feels a little better. Let's still scale it back by about 2 frames from the extremes of where it's at. Let's see it now. Alright, and let's look at this guy. And we'll rotate him a little bit this way. And 12 frames from that would be what, 21, 33, 45, and back again. Alright, let's take this guy and do a different approach with that. It feels like it's a little too much, or not enough or something. Let's see. Back. And we'll scale that back a little bit more. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. tone this one down a little bit more. Maybe we'll add a little bit of rotate. Y to it here, there, here, there, and back again. And maybe we'll tone that down a little bit more too. Let's take this one and let's try and tweak it a little bit. So I feel like it should be more this way to start off with. Get back in there. Let's see how that works. Swing it out further, and back. We'll go at do a little bit this way, that way. This way, that way, and then back as well. No, I don't like it. Okay, so let's go back and zero it out again. And let's just keep it with rotate X. So a little bit here. We did it at 9, right? And then 12 frames from that, 21, 33, 45, and back. Other way around though. Should be more exaggerated though. Okay, maybe not so much. And I do want this to be more back a little bit. That's better. Okay. Let's look at our fingers here on this hand. Grab both of them, set them there, hold them. 2 frames later, and then set them here. And 2 frames later, we'll get them back. Okay. So from here, we want them to go. Punch them in a little bit more. Out a little bit. It's a little too over-exaggerated, so we'll probably have to go somewhere about like that. And then we'll take that one, bring it over there, and that one, and bring it there. I think we'll probably need to push it one frame sooner. Okay, and then we'll take the tips and we'll delay them a frame. And then we'll take the index finger and we'll push it all forward a frame. Let's see. Yeah, let's look at the thumb here. Go ahead and set it there. Set it there. Set it there. 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 Okay. And then we'll go ahead and drag it back here, which would be what? Rotate Y. And we could go out a little bit, I guess, too. Take that there. I think we should probably go a little bit higher here. And that's what, 2 frames from before. Let's see. Right? And maybe a little bit less of that. Okay, and let's look at the tip now, the thumb. And again, we'll hold it there, bring it there, 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 and back. And we'll go inward a little bit with it. Go inward a little bit with it. Okay. Starting to come together now. Now let's look at the fingers. We're just going to do a little bit of a bounce on these guys. So go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and back again. I think I want to go the other way around. Let's invert it. Let's see if we like it better that way. I think we're going to. We also have to tone it down too. It's way over the top. It's something we want to really feel, not necessarily see. Okay, yeah, lots better, but too over the top. So let's see it now. Still probably too much. There we go. And we'll take tips, and we'll delay them a frame. And we'll take the little finger and we'll delay it one more frame as well. And I think we'll take the base of this as well, and we'll just scale it back. Feels a little too busy. Alright, now let's look at that thumb. We'll do a little bit of looseness on the thumb. You don't need that much, but a little bit. Just so it doesn't really lock in there. And back again. Too busy, so we'll cut it in about half of what we have there. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do the tip of the thumb back at 6. So that would be in a little bit there, out a little bit, in a little bit, out, in, out, in, and back again. Too much, so I'll scale it back, but idea is there. Let's see how we're doing. Alright, like I said, just kind of a little bit of keep alive in that hand. Now, what can we do here with this stash? Can we do anything there? Guess we could do a little bit of tilt here. This way, this way, this way, and back again. I think we can cut that back a little bit more. It's a little too over the top. So I'll go about half of what we have there, and maybe delay it a frame. Is there anything that we can do? Do the Tusks themselves have a controller? They don't. That would have been kind of cool. But we still have these little pieces of clothing here. So I'm gonna start with the top here. Have that go down more there, and up here, down there, up here, down there, up here, down there, and back. Let's see. It's probably a little too much, so I'll scale that back as well. And then we'll do the second portion of the cloth there. 3, gonna have it. It needs to be a little bit lower. I'm gonna watch this. I think I'm going the wrong way here with that, but let's keep going just so we can punch those keys in for right now. And then back again. And maybe that's right. Just make it feel like it's kind of bouncing and dragging on the ground there. this portion is a little too over the top, so let's scale it back in both the up and down and side to side. It just feels a little too much. Alright, I think that'll work for today. I'm sure we've gone past our hour or so together. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Juan Gimenez, and he said, actually, I like to draw everything. Be eclectic in the things that you explore and try out within your medium, and also, you know, beyond your own medium as well. I know that for me, you know, anytime I animate, it always helps my illustration, and anytime I illustrate stuff, I feel like it feeds back in as well. So it's nice to, you know, kind of have a couple mediums to play around with as well. And same with, you know, all the time I spent studying music really helped to help me understand timing a little bit better as well. So I think it's important to try that. I know I need to push myself more to, I've been, with my illustration just anecdotally, I've been trying to do more architecture and more like vehicles and stuff, because I tend to focus more on characters and backgrounds and stuff. So that's a tough thing for me, because it's kind of like starting at square one sometimes. But I think it'll help eventually, I hope. So I urge you guys to take another step in your journey. I hope you guys don't feel alone. I love you guys lots. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. I'm getting rambly, but I had fun doing this one with you guys. So I hope you go off and try these rigs out, or learn something to do today, or to try out, or learn something not to do. Either way, have a great day. I love you guys, and I think that'll wrap it up for today. So keep being awesome, and we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.